It's Carl here again from EC Forum, Richo71 Avatar, and recently bought a couple of mech mods from Phil at Mods and Atties, and within one of the packages he sent me one of the new atomizers that he would like me to review. He sent me this free of charge for the purpose of reviews, and obviously these are only my personal opinions of the device and on my personal setup. He sent me on the Aqua 1.1 copy clone by Tobacco, one of the newer atomizers that have just come out. They're started to become available now. I think they go along the same lines as like the Typhoon GT and stuff like that. And this is the box it comes in. It's a magnetic flat box, and that's what you get in the kit. You get the atomizer, some wick and wire, and some spare O-rings there, and that's your pieces of, don't know what ohms these are, to be honest, but I never use what's in the bags anyway. And spare O-rings for the Atty. They're different ones for, because this does have a few O-rings on the atomizer. And then the atomizer itself. One thing that surprised me when I opened the box on this was the finish and build quality of it. Picking it up out of the box, it's really nice. It's probably one of the nicest ones I've seen, to be honest. The moniker, the Aqua moniker on the front is really well done. There's no marks on the stainless brush, like a brushed stainless here, and it's got a polished top cap and a polished drip tip, and it's got the serial number on the back. Show you that there. This one's 5261. So yeah, it's a stunning bit of kit, to be honest. I think it's a 22.7mm diameter, roughly. There's no specs on the diameter on his website. There is, but I believe them specs to be for a different atomizer, to be honest. But yeah, well, from knowledge, I think it's 22.7. It's meant to look really well on the Origin mod. I think the newer versions of these, there is a newer not newer version, but a different kit with that's steadily coming into vendors' hands, whereby you get the hybrid adapter for the bottom and the other drip tip, because the original Aqua cake comes with 2 drip tips, and I believe in this newer version, newer kit from Tobacco, or the H-Cigar version, they're coming with the red O-rings, hybrid adapter, and another drip tip to go with which is different style to this one that's on here now. So yeah, I'm not going to do a recoil on it. I've coiled it. It's a dual coil atomizer. I haven't got the video equipment to do the close-ups and stuff, but I will show you as close as I can how I've coiled this. I've got a single coil in this using silica wick, and I'll tell you more about the coiling when I open it up. So yeah, we've got the drip tip, which is a tight fit, and it's a tight fit for a reason. The drip tip is part of the juice control on here, and that's the drip tip that it comes with. Nice quality again. And unscrew the top cap. Generally, when you unscrew the top cap on these, the chimney comes out with it as well. I'll show you the top cap first. That's the top cap, and the threads are absolutely bang on, buttery smooth, and I think they need to be really on this atomizer, because the way it screws together. It's right, it has had juice in, so my hands are a bit juicy, a bit slippy. So yeah, that's the top cap. Nice. There's no holes in this top cap or anything. It gets all its air from the tank itself, That's the chimney. I said there's no holes. Oh, I said there was no holes in the top cap because it looks like there is, but that's just the design of the top cap. And then the tank section here unscrews off the deck. But also, when you're unscrewing this when you're using it in normal operation, is also your airflow adjustment. And as you unscrew it, I'll show you there. As you unscrew it, you can just see that there's two air holes. As you unscrew it, you open up them air holes. Looking at these air holes, they probably look about 1.8 mil each one. Probably 1.5 to 1.8 mil each one. So yeah, you unscrew this, you keep unscrewing, and then it comes off. And the threads are very good in that. There's no burrs or nothing on there. So, and here we have the deck. The bottom of this comes off as well. The bottom of the deck comes off to reveal there's nothing in here. It's just something for it to screw on. That's actually like your 510. That does come off for cleaning purposes. And there is your 510 contact pin, and that is adjustable as well. Also, when you get the hybrid adapter, if you get one with the hybrid adapter, you unscrew that and you screw your hybrid adapter in there, and you don't use that. Sorry, excuse me, you don't use that, and then that deck just screws straight on to the Origin mod. I believe it does fit in a couple of more mods, but I'm not overly sure, so I'm not going to state which ones, but I know it does fit the Origin mod straight on, so you've got a proper flush fit without using the 510 connection. And we just wipe my hands. So basically, this is the deck. This is the deck. Now on the deck you have 4 channels, as you can see there, and you have positive and negative post, and you have dual coil capability. One coil I'm using there with the air hole directly underneath it, and the other coil will go here with the air hole directly underneath it, and then you would feed your other dual coil wicks into that channel and that channel, and the same on the other side. But because I'm using a single coil, this is wicked, by the way, with the 3 pieces of 2 mil silica. One of the pieces I've cut level with the posts, so it's more like a flavour wick, if you know what I mean. And then the other 4 strands that I have from using the 2 pieces, I've channeled into the front 2 channels, and then I've around the back, I've moved it around to the back and threaded it into them channels down there, the back channels down there. This is my first build, so I'm not you know, I don't know what's going to work best or not. I've seen a couple of other reviews where they've used cotton and stuff, but at the moment this seems to be working for me. I've coiled it. I put 4 wraps. It's a 4-3 coil, 4 wraps of 0.2 countful, and it's come out at 1.8 ohms. I could have done with it a little bit lower really, so I'll probably do 3 wraps next time. Probably give me about 1.5 ohms. I don't really do sub-ohm coiling, but yeah. And it was a doddle to coil because these are finger screws, and you just wrap your coil around it, unscrew them, wrap your coil around it, and tighten them back up again. and the same on the other side if you're using a dual coil. A lot of people are using micro coils now, but I find just the usual way of doing that. I coil my K-Fun in a similar manner using silica, so, and it works for me. So yeah, so what you do is, obviously I've taken the 510 pin out, contact pin out, so I need to put that back in. Just screws in. Put the base, 510 base on. As you can see, it goes on pretty easy. There's no catching there with the threads or anything. Now to fill this, what you do is obviously you've got to put your chimney on. When you put your chimney on, make sure you don't get any of the silica caught on the threads as you screw, or else it might not screw up properly and it might cut all your silica to bits, but it screws up pretty well. You just screw that on, get it pretty tight, not overly tight, but closed to a closed position. I'll tell you why in a minute. And then put your tank over the top, and then it's got an O-ring on there, and you sort of push a little bit and turn at the same time, trying to catch the threads, because the threads are a little way into the tank chamber, so it just takes a little thingy to catch the threads, making sure you don't cross thread it, like so I always tend to. There you go, see, it's caught now, I think. Not quite. That's it. You can feel when it goes, when the threads are caught properly. Obviously don't try and force it. If it doesn't go first time, just keep doing it. Then what you want to do is you want to screw this tank all the way down until the old holes are covered and it's closed off. Because when you fill it, you don't want any. Because it's built on pressure again. It's another atomizer that's basing itself on pressure. It's like as you take a vape, and the fluid wicks up the silica and enter the coils using pressure. So every time you take a vape, it's doing that. That's how it ends up wicking. Then what you do now is you fill it up. I'm using some 18mg strength Cannell's Negel, which is like a cinnamon pastry from e-cigs. Lovely stuff this is. Very sweet smelling, but not that sweet on the taste. It's a 50. It's either 60-40, 50-50. e-cigs do their juices at. And then what you do is just fill it up, and I fill it to the top of the barrel. My light's gone off. Back on again. I just fill it up to the top of that barrel there. You can see your level pretty easily. Now, one downside to this tank is, in my opinion, is it's too small. Really, it only takes a couple of mil, or 2.5 mil of liquid tops. So that's up to the barrel now, which is the lower barrel inside, and just below the threads. Now what you do now is you got an O-ring on your chimney, and then you put your top cap over that, and then you push down a little bit, and then catch your threads again, as well as pushing down, and screw this on. I always screw these on slowly because of the pressure build up inside. And you screw your top cap on till it stops. Give it a wipe. Should have cleaned it out a bit really, save me getting juicy fingers. So right, that's filled up now, and you can put your drip tip on, which is a tight fit, but it's a tight fit for a reason. That then becomes your juice flow control, but we don't open that just yet. What we do now is we've just filled it, so the air, everything's closed off in there, so there might be some pressure in there. So what we do is we turn it upside down, wait a few seconds for the juice to flow down, so the air's at the top, and then what we do then is we open up the tank. So what we're doing is we're opening up the tank part, which gives you your airflow, just slightly, so you can just about see the holes. I see them holes there, just about coming into view. There, you see the bottom of the holes there, and then we can tip it back up again. That way, it doesn't flood your wick. It doesn't flood your wicks, and get all and start coming out. If you did it the other way, if you did it and just opened it up, it might all start flooding out of the air holes and possibly out of the bottom. But I mean, I haven't had it flood yet. That's the way I've seen people, a couple of people do it on YouTube, and I've used that way, and it works perfectly. There is another way to fill it, but I haven't researched that as yet. I think you take the bottom off, but I haven't researched it, so I'm not going to show you. So yeah, and that's ready to vape now. I haven't undone the juice flow just yet. But what I'm going to do is I'll show you I'll put it on a mech mod in a minute, but I'm going to put it on my VTR just to show you the. Obviously, I'll have to use my adapter. Show you what the ohms is on it. It's 1 point. Sorry, I'll show you that again. 1.9. I've got this at 9 watts, and it's a bit of a beast on there at the moment. Well, I may as well use it on here now. So yeah, you can alter the airflow on these. You can alter the airflow on these on this tank, to suit your desired draw. I don't even have it open that much, to be honest. I just turn it a little bit, so I'll close that off a bit now. So I'll just turn the whole tank system, and then I just have a slight gap. So I've got a slight gap there now, that's all. And then what I'll do is I'll take a toot. Just getting there now, the way the juice is. Oh, I'll tell you something. It does kick. What I found is, since a couple of days I've had it, that my 16mg juice, it kicks like 24. Or higher than 16. It's good vapor from it. Flavour's very good on it. The coil's quite new in it, so I'm still waiting for the coil to bed in a little bit. I'm not getting fantastic flavour from it. at the moment. If I said I was getting fantastic flavour, it would be a lie. But I'm getting good flavour at the moment. Another day probably on this coil, and then I'll start getting some good, pretty good flavour out of it. So it's a quiet atomizer in operation. Like I say, I've had atomizers before, and they crackle and pop away, but this one, maybe my coiling, but so I have to keep wiping it because my hands are juicy and sweaty from it. So I'll stick it on my what I'll do is I'll stick it on my pole jack, and I'll just undo the pin slightly, and then I'll undo this one very slightly so we know we're making contact. Screw it on. Probably a bit too much there, to be honest, so screw it back a bit with the finger. I think I've done the pole jack one a bit too much. It's better. So, as you noticed, I haven't undone the juice level, the juice flow control. I find with that wicking system I've got in there, I don't need to open it. It works like a K-fun, where it's been working like a K-fun, because the K-fun's not got juice control on it as such. You screw your chimney down, and if you don't block up them, if you don't push a load of silica in them channels, you don't need to open your juice flow control. If you find you are getting a little bit of a drier hit or something, you can just open it up slightly and then close it back off again. But I found that using it, and the experience I've been using it over the last day or so, I haven't needed to open it at all, to be honest. So this is it on my pole jack. That's how it looks on the pole jack, by the way. This is a pole jack clone which I reviewed the other on my last video, and another fantastic device. And there is a little step, because this is a 23mm mod, but on the Atomo version 2, which I've got for review there, that it's pretty flush, and obviously on the Origin it is flush, diameter wise it's the same. So still a bit high, that is. Let's just alter that pin in a second again. Just altering the pin height on my pole jack, get it sitting flush. As you can see, kicking out the vapour and everything. But yeah, it's a good bit of kit. It's on a par with the K-fun. I wouldn't say it was as good as a K-fun, to be honest. They're calling it the K-fun killer, but it's good that you've got the airflow control on the tank. It looks well built, lovely machining. I mean, the machining on it's top notch, and I mean I'm not exaggerating there. It is proper top notch. machining. If you bought one, you wouldn't be disappointed buying this over a K-Fun clone or a 3.1 clone. You would not be disappointed. It's easy to wick. It's just as easy as a K-Fun. Probably a little bit harder when you're trying to do dual coils, but with the finger screws, it's easy. Yeah, looks wise, I think it looks great. Looks fantastic. Let's take another vape. So yeah, lovely. And that's the Aqua, folks, on tobacco. I think I've covered everything that I need to tell you. So yeah, thanks for watching, and any questions or comments you can post it on AAEC forum, which I'm a member of, and also you can post a question or comment underneath the video. But that's the look at the Aqua for you, and thanks for watching, and see you again. Bye.